So, in order to talk about Japanese theme parks, we first must discuss, as pictured here, Kim Kardashian's backyard. It looks like a little strip mall, and it's fully equipped with a diner, Legoland, a Starbucks, not pictured, but Starbucks, of course, corporate branding is important at home. I think that little candy cane thing is a circus tent, which is kind of cute. There's a fire department, just in case, I guess. And she's got her own storefront there as well. It is a place for her to experience the essence of retail without any of the people. There are no bodyguards, there are no paparazzi, there aren't even any staff. This is the perfect exhibit of what Jean Baudrilliard, French, Baudrilliard? Bon Jovi? Hey. No. He looks a bit like Larry David and Danny DeVito if they morph together. But that's besides the point. You know what I mean. Okay, anyway. He coined the term simulacrum, which is a replica of something that actually exists, whether it's an object or a person. However, it extracts certain qualities of that reality and enhances it, so much so that the final replica, the product, is an unreliable communicator of reality. It is an illusion. And Baudrilliard, Bon Jovi, he thought it was very dangerous to live in a hyper-real simulated world because let's say Kim Kardashian's children spent 90% of their lives in their backyard pretending that everything was a utopia. They would go into the real world and not know how to respond to any wild cards, to noises, to smells, to the potential dangers of the world. We have Marie Antoinette here as well because she had the same exact thing in her backyard. Queen's Hamlet. It was a little collection of cottages, and some of these fixtures didn't even work. She had some of her people pretending that it was actually a peasant village. She would retreat there if she wanted to experience normal living, even though it was her own simulated reality where she was catered to. Some could even argue that Kim Kardashian herself is a simulacrum. All of her pictures are hyper edited. You can't really tell what she would actually look like if you encountered her on the street, which you wouldn't. Pictured here is actually somebody named Jordan James Park, who invested hundreds of thousands of pounds trying to look like Kim Kardashian, but really just a version of her that she portrays online that isn't connected to reality at all. So the big lips, had a giant BBL, fake tan, sadly passed away in February, which I found out while doing a little bit of research here. It makes sense that Baudrilliard didn't like this. In Japan's defense, Japanese theme parks are so innocent, the pros completely outweigh the cons, only until you realize that Paris syndrome is kind of a thing. There are Japanese people who go to Paris after going probably to Fuji-Q and seeing the fake version of Paris, the city of love, right? So we've extracted the concept of the city of love and put it into this theme park and enhanced it like 100-fold, where Amelie is handing you a baguette and people are playing accordions and you're eating macaron all day. Like, I'm pretty sure Japanese people can understand that they're still in a Japanified version of France. Going to the real Paris, the museum is shattered. You know, it's definitely not an amusement park. It's a real place where people live. It can smell, there can be rats, I don't know, and freaking the hell out and having a psychotic break and being shipped home. I can understand how that could affect a Japanese person's entire worldview, that the city of love is actually a real place. So that's a simulacrum. That's all you're getting. Also Jenny Nicholson, because Star Wars Hotel. First on my list, I actually went to Haus ten Bosch recently. It's in Nagasaki. Nagasaki has a long-standing history with the Netherlands, so of course they would have a Netherlandish theme park with Miffy because she's Dutch as well. It was so lovely. It's advertised as being the biggest park because it's actually quite sprawling and kind of hard to get around. I'll get to that in a bit. They had this 3-tiered merry-go-round that I really liked. They had a windmill, they had a lot of tulips. They have Miffy Land. I met Miffy. I got this fun birthday cup because it was Miffy's birthday month. I also found this. Listen, I don't do crime, but I did find this on the floor. It was unattended, and I tried to leave it somewhere where whoever lost it could potentially retrieve it. Many hours later, I picked it up because it was still where I left it, and I was just like, I don't think anyone's taking it. So I'm sorry to whoever lost their Miffy. I'm going to now apologize to you. She's begging, she's bowing to you. She says, hello, I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, there she is. But I very much enjoyed it, so thank you. They had these buses wrapped with Miffy on the front, and I jumped in thinking that maybe the inside was themed as well. And it wasn't, but it got me across the park. As I said, the park is quite sprawling, so if you're on one end of the park, it's gonna take you a long time to get to the other end. They have all these dolls of her wearing clogs, popcorn bucket. Popcorn bucket culture is pretty big here. It might be big in America too, I'm not really sure. Did not buy it. Expensive. There was also themed food, as you can see. I was treating myself. It was my birthday. It was great. Continuing on, let's see. Thule! There's also this little mascot there. The actual mascot that they've made up called Thule the Tulip. She looks a little more like Miffy in her old version, but I love her anyway. They've given her eyelashes. I also like that her legs are green in the new version because it's like her little stem. I love that. You could actually buy her as a plush. You can buy a girl wearing her tulip head as a plush. She is so cute. Ooh, the attractions. I would say by far the highlight was their own takarazuka revue. They called it the House 10 Bosch revue. It started in Hyogo a long time ago, like before World War II, I believe. It's women portraying men and women, where they do lots of operatic singing. They do many dance routines. They're wearing sequined outfits. The men, the women portraying men, the otokoyaku, they've been trained rigorously at specific schools. I caught one of these performances. If it's your birthday, you can request for them to do a little birthday song. At the end, they have this big grand finale. It was a full packed house. They were so charming. Okay, that that spigot, it's actually just chocolate from the spout. I don't really know. Count Chocolate's mansion. You go up the staircase, you look a little bit around, and then you can buy chocolate from the spout, and they had hot chocolate and cold chocolate. I just wasn't in the mood, but I kind of wish I tried it now, because like, how funny is that? They had real Rembrandts. You walk all the way at the end of the park. I was actually trying to find the dinosaur area. I'll get to that in a bit. And you end up at this huge palace. And inside are all of these original copper etchings. It wasn't just Prince, it was his signature and everything and the date, and it like blew my mind. It was crazy. You could also get Boris dressed up as Rembrandt, which I think is so cute. I didn't get him though. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about, they have this Evangelion 4K movie experience ride. Just imagine if you've ever been to Disneyland, there's this ride called Soarin' where you pretend you're in a big plane and you see different sights like landmarks. That's the mechanic of the ride, where you are kind of suspended a little bit in this chair that like rocks you back and forth while you watch this big giant screen. So House 10 Bosch is under attack and the Evangelion are fighting the angels in the park, and you're there too, and you're getting shot in the face with fire and they're running amok and everybody around me was screaming. Yeah, that was fun. We've got this Jurassic Park looking abandoned island. There are a couple of animatronics of dinosaurs in there, and you're given these rifles with iPhones in them so that you can look at an augmented reality version of the landscape. And the whole point of it is you're supposed to shoot the bad dinosaurs like the T-Rex. You're supposed to spare the herbivores like the Brachiosaurus and whatever. And I was trying to get there, but it was a 2 to 3 hour commitment. You could go to Nagasaki and shoot dinosaurs in this abandoned island if you really wanted to. Great. Next, Brazil land. Wash is on Highland in Okayama. So they got this rainbow staircase that's supposed to look like the mosaic one in Rio de Janeiro, but I think that's about as much as the theming goes, because the rest of it is very much the natural terrain. There are lots of palm trees. Who the heck is that mouse? I'm so glad you asked. That is Chupi. Chupi and Chuti are the Brazil theme park specific mascots. They have these little profiles on them, and I'm just gonna get into it. Chupi was born in 1994 on January 1st. Happy New Year. Not the year of the rat. Chupi was born in the year of the dog, but it's okay. He's a boy, he's lovely, he's charming, he loves to bungee jump. We'll get to that in a bit. He's got a cute voice, he samba dances, loves beef, he loves cakes, and he was born in the park, which is crazy. And I'm pretty sure Churi's his mom, because she was born in Brazil. Her birthday's a secret, classy. She's very pretty, loves to swim, loves to dance, take a bath, coconut juice. What more could you ask for from Churi? She's got a great headdress, but I think the stars of the show are the cast members. I've seen so many videos online. They really make the park what it is. Like, their performances are top notch. I would love to go to Brazil land. Okay, these are the mice. And here's Chupi bungee jumping. What the hell? That looks crazy, right? So you can bungee jump. There's a roller coaster. That's a standing roller coaster. You can also do that the viral biking thing. There's this jungle cafe with this funny looking logo that I just wanted to include. I think you can eat alligator meat there, which is why he's the logo, but I love I love his little face. The Jungle Cafe mascot, in my opinion, deserves its own plush. Yeah, continuing on. This is called Spain Muda, or Shima Spainland. And this really is one of the coolest theme parks I've ever been to. I did go on the worst day of my life, but I could still appreciate the artistry. They put their heart and souls into Spainland. First of all, that mosaic garden there kind of looks like Park Güell. They have all these floats, that España thing, and then that beautiful woman with the fan. Those are just parades that they have daily. There's also areas that look a bit like Barcelona. Huge castle full of Spanish art. Logo here is actually inspired by the '92 Barcelona Olympics, and it's supposed to look like a flamenco dancer. The colors are actually symbolic of certain aspects of Spain. So the red is love, and it looks like a heart. The green is the land. Blue is the sea, and the yellow, the orange underneath is the joy of the people, the fiesta, life of the party. What a cool logo. They've really thought it through. These are some of the attractions. Instead of teacups, it's tomatoes, because la tomatilla, right? That big dragon head you see, it was this indoor gallery ride pseudo situation. You're supposed to shoot lasers, and they had all these statues of demons and wizards, tons of UV lights as well. They also had this steampunk indoor roller coaster called the Iron Bull. That thing was awesome. But the star of the show when it comes to Spain Muda is this insane cast of characters. The mascots here have lore. They have these, I guess, lack of a better term, furries, who are based off of the characters of Don Quixote. And they found a portal into Spain Muda, the theme park, and they stopped aging, and they enjoy it so much that they continue to live here. But the portal is still active, and it's somewhere in the park, and you have to find it. Look at the artwork. It's so good. They also have a webcomic where you can read their little stories. They all live in different places in the Don Quixote universe. So, starting off strong with Donkey, he's the dog in the middle. He's like the main character, the voice of reason. Now, if he's Batman, his little British man servant guy he grew up with who loves him, that's Sancho. The one with the big red nose. He's like Donkey's father figure. Donkey has another friend named Toto, this strong silent type. He used to be a sailor, but now he's a carpenter, and he's actually more connected to Chucky, who's the rabbit. This mischievous little guy gets into trouble, and he's Donkey's like son. Imagine Chucky being the small guy, and Toto is like his caretaker bodyguard. Like there's like a huge guy and a tiny guy, and they're best friends. In Catland, because that's all the people who live in Donkey Land, we have the princess of Catland. Her name is Dulcinea. She is the love interest of Donkey, and she has a little bard like guy named Julio. That's her froggy dude, her best friend. And then we have Alejandro. He's this tough looking guy, but actually on the inside he's very sensitive, and he has a big crush on Dulcinea, but he's kind of rivaling Donkey for her. They're kind of friends, and it's not really that deep, but also Alejandro's a wizard for some reason. But you can see them walking around the park. It really shows that they put a lot of love and a lot of thought and care into this theme park. I had a great time there. Ooh, let's go to France. This is Fuji-Q. It's an incredible theme park. I love it. And as you can see, we got Gaspard and Lisa. Oh my god, actually, when I was there were these French guys walking around the French area, pointed at a group of high school girls. They were obviously in high school, they were wearing their uniforms, pointed at them, and then like showed off their muscles, and they said, "I'm the real thing." They pointed at the Eiffel Tower and then pointed at themselves and said, "I'm actually French." Oh, you're nasty. Those are kids. Ugh. So I saw that there. Anyway, ugh, gross. What? So, yay, we have mascots. Gaspard and Lisa was created by this French couple. They had a lot to do with the art in the park itself, and they even have a gallery of original Gaspard and Lisa artwork and paintings. You ride in a little cloud with them and you go around the park. It was so cute. I loved it. They also have Thomas Land. And I love Thomas Land because he's got great eyebrows. It's a roller coaster heavy theme park. You are going to get the best views of Mount Fuji from there. You're gonna get to the top, you're gonna see the entire mountain, and they're gonna swing you down into the pits of hell as fast as they can possibly do it. I think there are a couple of world records that they've broken. There's also Zokon, which I really like. It feels like you're on a motorcycle and you lean in with every turn. There is this roller coaster called Ajanica, and somebody left a crazy ass review saying that it was a meditation in gravity or something insane. And my best friend works in a job that relies on reviews from customers, and her job is quite physical, and I was like, what if I just copy and pasted this review for this roller coaster and put it on your website and sent it to your boss under an anonymous fake name and see if he would post it? And she was like, damn, I don't know, try. And it worked. And to this day, we have a roller coaster review on my friend's page. You should look at that review, it's so funny. If you're some kind of adrenaline junkie, you gotta go here. Tokyo Disney Sea. You know, land and sea. I think Disney sends Tokyo a blank check to do whatever they want and go hog wild. It is a stunning park to visit. They've got this big blue Persian dome in the middle of Agrabah. That little tiger I think is Chandu, and that's Sinbad, and he's got a little indoor gondola adventure where it smells like bananas at one point, and there are lots of animatronics and gorillas. I love that ride. There's also a miniature version of Venice. We've got Cape Cod. Cape Cod is important to the Disney Sea lore. This is like comparable to Don Quixote. Mickey, who is a sailor now, he's in Disney Sea, so he's sailing the seas. He misses Minnie. Minnie sews him up a little bear and he keeps it in his duffel bag. Then the duffel bag teddy bear comes to life and they have adventures. Duffy gets lonely, so Minnie makes Shelly May and she's this cute pink bear. Then they go to Disney Sea's New York area and they meet Stella Lou, who's a ballerina and she's the bunny. And then they go to Venice and they meet Gelatoni the cat. And then we have Lena Bell, who's a fox that was found in Shanghai, who was solving mysteries, and she joins the game too. We have Olu Mel, the turtle in Hawaii, and then we have Cookie Ann, who's a baker and she's a dog. They all live in this big Cape Cod house. That's where he started out. He was, you know, sailing the seas with Mickey. They star in these stop motion webisodes using the actual dolls. I gotta hand it to Disney. Sometimes they really get you. I can see why people go crazy for Duffy and Friends. Give it a watch. It's so cute. And we got themed food at Disney. The little green men mochis. There's a strawberry one, a chocolate one, and a vanilla one. They're yummy. You can get Mickey ears of the burgers. I love Baymax and his little hot tub of curry. Jack Skellington naan, Donald Duck donut. The food is good. They got popcorn. Now, the popcorn buckets at Tokyo Disney, they're lanterns. I have that Beauty and the Beast. That's the only popcorn bucket I've ever bought because it looks like stained glass. There's a little light inside, but if you put popcorn in it, then you can't see the design as well, so I really feel like it defeats the point. There's a lot of interactivity, like with that Cinderella thing, you can roll it around. There's even a popcorn truck popcorn bucket. They even have Lightning McQueen as a popcorn bucket, and they have the Shinkansen, the little train monorail that takes you to the park. Some of them are so niche as well, like Chip and Dale eating a corn on the cob Donald Duck. It's a whole map of Disney Sea on top of the popcorn bucket. So I guess if you ever get lost, you can just look at your popcorn bucket. This is just a fraction of what there is on offer as well. I'm sure these would do numbers in America. Okay, continuing on. This is it, USJ. They have simulacrums of America. For some reason. Go to the New York area of USJ and they manicured the little cracks in the sidewalk. They got the little Astor Place train station facade that they don't even have in New York anymore. There was a rumor when I was in high school that that in that Kmart they caught two people doing something kind of crazy, kind of dirty in the bathroom. And that always stuck with me for some reason. It was connected to the train station and it was kind of gross. And it had really weird lighting. Ghirardelli Square with the big sign. I've never been to San Francisco. And they got Gru, who lived in California, right? Was that the point? I don't remember. He was Russian. Okay. Sesame Street! Obviously, the question on everyone's mind is, what would you get if we got Elmo and Abby Cadabby to make some magic? And the obvious answer would be Moppy the Muppet. He just exists at USJ and I don't think anywhere else. Jim Henson probably didn't sign on this, but I love it. He's friends with the cast and crew. You can get a little doll of him wearing Elmo's bucket hat and Big Bird's little satchel, and he's just USJ's Muppet. I bought those two little guys in the corner. Yes, they're wearing them as necklaces for now because I didn't know how else to store them. Originally I had Bert on Ernie's neck and the other way around as well, but I love them and I just wanted to have them. This is a really bizarre thing that I own. Yeah, I also bought Big Bird because I love him. I loved his performance at Jim Henson's funeral. It's not easy being green. I feel like a ventriloquist when I'm with him because his arms are very movable. He's very cute. I'm sorry, I hope this isn't freaking anyone out. And And I got this crazy thing. It's a headband with 2 of him on it. Isn't that crazy? Like, wow. And if I put it on top of Big Bird, it's biblically accurate Big Bird, guys. How crazy is that? Wow. Whoa. Oh, they have this incredible mascot too, called Hamikuma. Dude, he looks like Freddy Fazbear, I'll give you that. He's actually this circus performer, and he was more popular than the other guys. So in the middle of the night, his co-workers gutted him out, but he resurrected and started to haunt the circus. Every Halloween he comes back and he walks around, he's like a disemboweled crazy bear. They have different versions of him. The pink one is like an idol bear. Also, you can get Hello Kitty X Chucky, and every Halloween they have these roaming zombies. I mean, USJ just does it different. They've got actually scary zombies. The prosthetics are incredible. That big like butterfly mask with the baby, that's crazy. I specifically like that girl with the stripes. She's supposed to be one of the mannequins in the New York area come to life, and her eyes never blink because it's a prosthetic, and she like screams at people and shoots water at them. Actually terrifying. Hamikuma. Get into that. And I guess last but not least, we got food and popcorn buckets. Again, the food is just like Disney, it's really good. Pokemon area, Mario World. I didn't get into that because you can find that everywhere else. The Minion cream puff is cute. And they have this really fun dinosaur popcorn bucket. They have this Sesame Street one where it's a drum. Lots of Minion stuff. Banana? Anyway, the last thing I've got for you guys is Spider-Man hanging upside down at USJ, and adversely, the back of Spider-Man and his gigantic ass hanging out at USJ. And I hope you love that. And that's all I have to say. Yeah, see ya. Bye.